Hey guys, I haven't made a video in so long. I have been really crazy busy lately. It goes back a couple weeks ago, Hurricane Ian. Its path was coming towards us, so we just had to be a little careful and had to figure out what we were going to do. It ended up hitting south of us, so we didn't, all we had was some wind and some rain, but that was it. But the people south of us, obviously, they got some pretty bad damage. So still praying for them, and it looks like it's starting to come back together a little better every day. So that's perfect. I'm so glad. I wish it had never happened, but that's what living in Florida is like. You get hurricanes. So anyway, so I had that, and then I had my two youngest sons. My oldest son is in college in Orlando, but my two youngest are in high school, and they run cross country. Well, cross country, it's in the fall in Florida, and they are traveling. Their meets are everywhere in Florida. We had one in Jacksonville, one in Tallahassee, one in Boca Raton. Next week we have it in Northport, which is down in the area that was hit by Hurricane Ian, but where they're running is still okay. And then back to Tallahassee. So all I'm trying to explain to you is that we travel all the time. So, and we got a puppy. I will show you him in this video, or maybe another video. I changed my stamp room a little bit too, so I'm going to do a new video of that. It's just not as drastic as the last time, but I changed a few things, and so I always like to show everybody that. But anyway, so here's the card. Look at that. Is that not so cute? I mean, I had made so many Halloween and Christmas cards and stuff, and I just wanted to do something a little different. I made this one first, so there's the Halloween, but it had the same idea, and I just thought it would be really cute if it was fish and with a palm tree and stuff like that. So it took me a little practice to do this. I'm sure there are people out there who can come up with this idea and boom, immediately know how to do it. I am not one of those. So I thought I'd make you guys a video to show you how to do this. Shaker cards, obviously the shaker cards I show that like the full card is a shaker. Those are a little easier than this. If you know, with shaker cards, you have to have foam adhesive all the way around so that those sequins and beads and things don't fall out. But I thought of a better way to do it. So we're going to get started on that, and it's pretty easy, and I'm just going to show you the full card. Okay, so what we're using for this card, the stamp set we're using, is a fish and a wish. It has a matching punch, and I got this when it first came out. It's in the annual catalog. I love it. Obviously, I love water, beachy kind of scenes, because that's obviously what I'm used to. But I got this and I had never used it. And so I thought of this idea, and I just thought, and because I love the sentiments on it, and actually we're going to make the exact same card, but I'm going to change the sentiment. On this one, I used Love Never Fails, and I think I'm going to do a Sea of Thanks, because I think this card could be for lots of different things. Okay, so we're using a fish and a wish, the stamp and the punch. For the dies we're using, I'm using the palms dies. That's how I got the palm tree and the grass on the bottom. And then, of course, the diorama dies, okay? And then you'll see all the colors we're using and everything. So what I've got here to get started, this is crumb cake. This is 5 1/8 by 4 3/8. I'm sorry, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I went ahead and die cut the grass already. This is with Pear Pizzazz. And I went ahead and already die cut the sentiment. Like I told you, I was going to use Sea of Thanks. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start die cutting, and I'm going to show you how we make the border of foam adhesive for that. Okay, so what I got here is the, I'm trying to think of what it's actually called, foam adhesive sheets. They come in this little package like this. All right, so you see in here how many diorama things I have? This is what I was telling you about. This is how it took me so long to do it. But I figured out the best way. So I could still use these for other stuff, obviously. All right, so because I went through, I'm not kidding, a full package of this stuff. Ugh. So I had to open up, I have to use a new one, and it's my last one, if you can believe that. So I'm gonna have to place an order here soon, because once I made this card, I really love it. I can think of so many ideas for it. Okay, so for the diorama dies, I'm gonna use this one. Let me make sure you think, yeah, see, right there. Okay. All right, so first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna do it directly on the foam adhesive sheets, but I'm not taking either one of the sides off, okay? So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I tried it with a bigger one, and it just became so complicated that I just decided, you know what, never mind. I'm just gonna stick to the smaller one. You want it, obviously you don't want it all the way on the edge, because you want the outside of it, because you're not using the inside of it, you're gonna use the outside of the die cut. Oh, look at that. I got a little bitty heart on my die cut machine. I think that's like from an old die cut. All right, so this, you can just, like I said, that's why I have so many stored in there, because you can still use it for other things. It's a weird shape, obviously, but you could still use it for lots of things. So we want this. I don't need the whole thing, because it's not gonna fit on the card. I'll cut that though when we get going. And so here's my crumb cake. So I just want to decide where I want it to go. I'm going to try to do it similar to that one, a little off that side. Give a little bit of a top to it. You don't want it too close to the top. You give it a little bit of top. Obviously my palm tree hangs over it. I liked that part of it. I decided the palm tree after I had done everything else. See, this keeps moving around. If you can hear that jingle, that's the puppy. Who knows what he's up to right now. I can't wait for you guys to see him. He's so cute. Okay. All right, there we go. It's gonna be a little different, but I wasn't trying to be if I wanted to make it look exactly like it did before, I'd have to work a little harder on that, so I don't really want to do that. All right, let me put this away. Okay, all right. So, oh, here it is. I was like, what did I do with that? I just had it. Okay, all right. So, all right, we're gonna have to, when we put it behind it, you have to tilt it a little bit, but we'll get to that when we start putting the card together. All right. Okay, so I got a little piece of Whisper White here. Sorry, gosh, Whisper White. It hasn't been Whisper White in a while. Basic White. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay this on top of it. I do it a little smaller because obviously I don't need it to show anywhere but right there in the middle. And then I just trace. Where it's gonna be. That way when I start doing this part and I'm not, wasting stuff and figuring, and doing all that. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, this is Balmy Blue. We are going to, and I just wanna do this really, really light. I don't want it super, super dark. that's just how I felt. You could do something really, really dark for a water scene, obviously, but I just do a little more. Okay, so that part is easy. All right, so here's the stamps that I'm using. This is obviously from A Fish and a Wish. So you can see them here, but I'm using this one and this one. That's what the punches out, or those two fish. And then I'm using this right here, and I'm using this, okay? So for the little plant thing, I'm gonna use Mossy Meadow. And I just want it somewhere on the bottom. Okay. Now, for this, which is supposed to just be like ripples in the water, what I did, and I've got everything here to use. If you look at it, I don't know if you can actually see them. There's one right there. I got ink all over my hands. And then one right there. And then there's one at the bottom, which I don't even think you really even need because the sequins sit down there. But I'm going to use Versamark. And I'm going to do one on the bottom anyway, just because I feel like it. Okay. My clear embossing powder. Oh, put a little too much ink on that stamp. I don't know if you can see it or not, but like this around it. I should have used my embossing buddy, which I have and I use all the time, but for some reason I didn't have that over here. All right. Well, see, almost made a huge mistake there. You need to cover this up before you bring the gun over. I can still hear the puppy. Okay. So that's how I did that part. Now, for when you are doing sequins, you don't want lots of glue in there because they'll stick to it, okay? And I learned that. This is the first one I made. You see how it's all, and I just really, I mean, it still looks cool. I still like it, but I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted it to be where it shakes and everything comes down. So you don't want glue. Like when I stamped and then punched the the fish out, I think they still had a little ridge underneath them, if you know what I mean, like where the sequins could still get underneath them. So what I did, and for the next one is, this is the oh goodness, you would think I remember, the adhesive sheets. They come 6 by 12, and I've got one here, and I cut the paper the same size, another basic white paper. And Oops, sorry. Obviously, I'm not going to need this much paper for this card, but for basic white, I always need basic white that maybe has the adhesive already on the back. So I keep some of this always around. If, you know, if I'm stamping and die cutting something that's very intricate and everything, then, you know, it's a lot easier to have the adhesive on it. I don't even have a trash can up here. Okay, so obviously with the punch, you want to stamp these so that it's easy to get into the punch. For the big fish, I used Sahara's sand. And you want them to face the same way as they face on the punch. Okay, there's my little fish. Okay, see, what did I just say? It's like I'm not looking at it this way. You got to look at it this way. Okay, here comes the puppy. So, okay, scratch that. We're gonna do it the other way. Can you hear that? He's drinking water. I'm sure you always, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've heard my other dog, Maggie. But now you're going to hear two dogs. All right, so there's our first fish. For the little fish, I use the pale papaya. See how, yeah, I can get them right down there. Okay. All right, so there's my two fish. Oh, yeah, now he's getting into something he's not supposed to. Hey, Gus, come here. Come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. I know, this is going to be hard to do because it's down here. Let's see if you guys can see him. Oh, this is Gus. Look how cute he is. He's a dachshund. He is, right now, he is 9 weeks old. We got him when he was a little, not quite 8 weeks old. And he is awesome. Okay, and Maggie's in here now, but it's hard to pick her up. But when I have to show you my new stamp room, and I'll show you both of them. They amazingly are actually kind of friends. I didn't think that would happen, but they are. Okay, so because they're on the adhesive sheets, like I said, these are kind of big punch images, you know, so you don't really have to use the adhesive sheets. I mean, obviously the adhesive sheets are really great for things that are really, really hard to adhere because they're skinny or whatever. Okay, but because we are using sequins for a shaker, okay, I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm gonna put him like that. So, you know, even if you just put this like this and didn't do a shaker card, that's still so cute. You know what I'm saying? All right, So we got that part done. Now is the part that is a little more, it's not hard, just not as easy as this stuff. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do, and I need to show you, I'm gonna die cut the palm, and I wanna do it with this stickiness, this adhesive too, because that way it's easier to glue it down. But I'm not gonna show it to you, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so I die cut that, and then I'm just using light old olive and light soft suede to color it. Okay, I knew I missed a spot. All right. Oh, one of the other things I've been doing is I had a whole lot of stuff on eBay. None of it was Stampin' Up. It was stuff that I bought. I'm not even gonna tell you how long ago it was, because it was a long time ago. It was when I first started scrapbooking and making cards and stuff, and it was before I became a demonstrator. So I had all this stuff, and it's great stuff, but it was obviously nothing I use anymore. And so it was about 86 things that I sold. So that took a little bit of my time too. Okay. All right. So we got everything ready. Here's the grass, the sentiment, and the palm. So we'll just set that aside. All right, here we go. Hey, stop. Yes, I'm talking to my dog. I have like these fake plants like all throughout my stamp room, and he has found some. You know dogs, especially puppies. Okay, so if you see, I'm putting this on here, so I'm cutting off. Oh gosh. He's got a trash can, like a little bitty trash can. He's having a lot of fun with it. All right. Okay. Well, I like to keep this on there so I can see it, but it doesn't really matter. Once I embossed over it, I'm not going to get that part off anyway. Here we go. We're gonna do just one side of it for now. Maybe if I didn't have all this distraction. Okay, I still got a pencil in there, but the sequins are gonna cover that up. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and this may not be something that everybody needs to do, but in this wonderful humid Florida, this is just baby powder, and what I did for the second one is I just dumped some in there and I shook it around. Obviously don't take the top of this off yet, otherwise it'll stick to that and then it won't be sticky anymore. If I get glue like on my grid pad or something, that's what I do is look, I just poured some on there. I put baby powder on there and rub it in so that it's not sticky. But okay. I wish I could I'm using my phone to make this video and I wish I could use it so I could take a picture of my dog and what he's doing right now. Oh, crazy. You're crazy. Okay. So I just do that so there's no stickiness on there. All right, so what I got here is I've got a window sheet to put on top of it. First, oh, I almost did that. I almost put it on there and then I would have had to start this video all over again. You don't need a whole bunch. Okay, just like half a spoon full. All right, so I guess I should zoom in on this so you can see. I dumped them in there. Okay, Gus, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm taking that away from you. Let go. Thank you. Okay. My stamp room is his room. His crate is in here. We feed him in here, you know, so he loves it in here. So that's why you're hearing so much of him. Look at that. Is that not the cutest? I mean, I think I put a little too many in there, but it looks so, so, so cute. All right. So then we are going to, before I put this on there, we are going to start putting everything on there. What you doing there? Okay, I've got 2 things of grass and I'm just going to overlap them. Now he's in his bed looking at me, basically probably saying, "You are so mean. Taking away my favorite thing in the world." He was a surprise for our kids. And they were really, really surprised. They had no idea. So it was a lot of fun. And he was so tiny. We've had him now, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Today is the 21st of October. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 22nd, will be 2 weeks since we've had him, and he's grown a little bit. Okay, and let's put, oh shoot, I should have put this on first. Well, because I want it to go underneath the grass. Let's see if I can pull it up a little bit. Goes about right there. Okay. I start with them on the top because this is a big, long palm tree. So when I put it down like that, it hangs off the edge, so I will cut that off. And that's sticky too, but that'll stick on top of the window sheet. Okay. All right. Just think all the things you could put inside shaker cards. I mean, Stampin' Up! Has lots of different sequins and beads and stuff like that, but there's obviously tons of stuff. I don't know why I put this on everything, but that's okay. But you could do so many things with it. All right, pretty easy. Let's see. I hope I just, part of my change in my room is my table that I do all my videos on and stuff. So hopefully this will still look good. All right, so see, oh, okay. So you can see, because I had to turn it, that this is showing. That's all you got to do. like that. Okay, and then here is this, and what we'll do is just put that on dimensionals like that. Easy card. It could be for somebody you love or somebody you're thanking. All right. Hope this made sense, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm a little pumped up because it's the first time I've been able to make one in so long, and I had to show you my puppy. Anyway, I hope everyone's great, and I hope you have a great day.